The Irish Prime Minister, the Taoiseach Micheál Martin, praises the corona vaccination campaign because the vaccination rate in his country is now higher than in the United Kingdom. But why is that? Micheál Martin is basically a cautious person, but he wanted to savor this triumph a little. That weekend, when it became clear that Ireland had left the UK behind in terms of vaccination rates, the Irish Prime Minister proudly wrote on Twitter, "The vaccination campaign is progressing at a great pace. Today we overtook our closest neighbours, a brilliant achievement of everyone involved." That was at the beginning of August. At that time, 74% of all adults in Ireland had already received 2 vaccination jabs against the coronavirus. In the UK, it was 2% less. Now Ireland has only a fraction of the population of Great Britain, which puts the number into perspective. But for the Republic, it was a success that should not be underestimated. Even Paul Reid, the head of the Irish Health Service Executive, the HSE, who is responsible for the vaccination campaign, couldn't resist a little swipe at the larger neighboring country on Twitter. He wrote, "We are now in front of the UK." That's definitely because Boris made a big fuss of that one. Ireland now has a first-time vaccination rate among adults of a good 90%. More than 80% have already received both vaccinations against the coronavirus. Ireland is still ahead of Great Britain. Admittedly, only just a little, but at the front. Compared to the other EU countries, only Malta has a higher vaccination rate than Ireland. For a week now, all 12 to 15-year-olds have been allowed to be vaccinated there. It's the same in Germany, by the way. Last weekend, there were long queues in front of the Irish vaccination centres. When it comes to vaccinating children and adolescents, the UK is far more reluctant than Ireland and other EU countries. 16 and 17-year-olds will not receive the vaccine until next week. Those who are younger should only be vaccinated if there is a medical need. Despite the progress in vaccination, Ireland's Chief Medical Officer Tony Holohan cautioned this week. Although vaccination coverage has increased, the virus is now circulating at a very high level, he said. The Delta variant made it possible for the epidemic to regain a foothold in Ireland. He is watching the spread of the virus with some concern, said Holohan. The incidence has recently risen to just under 250. However, the Irish government hopes that this value will remain manageable thanks to the speed of vaccination. As in London, Dublin has one number in mind: hospital admissions. As long as these do not overload the health system, Ireland should also continue on the path towards normalcy. However, the Republic is still far from an almost complete lifting of all corona restrictions as in England. Anyone wanting to eat indoors in a pub or restaurant, for example, must provide proof of vaccination. This is what the government in Dublin ordered, and once again, it's the same here in my state in Germany. According to experts, the fact that vaccinated people now enjoy more freedom than unvaccinated people is one reason why people are so willing to vaccinate in Ireland. In addition, there is also the experience of the hard lockdown in winter. At that time, the Irish were only allowed to be within a 5-kilometer radius of their house, unless they had to be out for a valid reason. Vaccination is still seen as a way out of this time of bondage. And I can only agree. The only thing that helps keeping our hospitals manageable is vaccination. And we have too many people that are not, had the time, the will or whatever to be vaccinated here in Germany. I don't know why. We have all the capacities, they just don't go. So we still need a lot of people to go there. I'll see you in my next video. Bis bald.